tries to pull me away. And I'm like, we're talking. I was like, stop, we're talking. Like, this is what it looks like to have respect for one another, where we can still honor the process, but we have respect from one another. And I understand that certain women are not used to experiencing a man respecting their relationship. And what that means is, and relationship means whatever our relationship is, however we've decided to define it. It's like you put your own boundaries in place where I don't feel like you were not talking to nobody. I know you were talking to people, you know, but it's just like they are trying to justify why you weren't talking to them because they wanted you, even though they want to be honest about that. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, yo, this is what it looks like when your man or your connection doesn't want to jeopardize what y'all got going on. And it's not disrespecting you by being like, let me be a little bit more conscious of how I conduct myself so no one is offended. Yeah. So you're not offended, so that you don't think I'm trying to lead you on, and so that she's not offended, so she knows that like we're respecting the process, but I'm still, you know, expressing boundaries. And I get that a lot of these women are not used to men showing them respect in the dynamics of whatever relationship they have. You used to niggas having kids on you. I can't relate. So you used to being with a nigga for 7 years and he don't wife you. That you're used to that. I've never had a man not respect our relationship.
I think for the process for me, it was once I found my connections, y'all are all who I talked to.
Right.
And then once it got to the house, it was like, okay, cool. And what also people don't know is I didn't meet Kat until the hoedown. Or no, the pickleball date.
Right.
And then the next time I saw her was the hoedown, and at the hoedown, you gave me a gift and Lee gave me a gift. So if my top two connections are being thoughtful in this, why would I be like, oh, well, let me add another connection to this? That doesn't make sense to me. And no slight to Kat, but she couldn't overtake you and Lee. So
that's what I said about Christopher, because Christopher kept being like, well, give me a chance. I'm like, I said, listen, at this point, you have to have something that knocks somebody out their spot, because we're all overwhelmed with the connections that we have. Yeah. Like, you have to have something that knocks someone out their spot, because the bandwidth that we're dealing with right now is limited. Yeah. We're already pushed to the limit. Right. So if you don't have something that knocks somebody out their spot, then that's what it is. Yeah. And I don't understand why that's not okay, for the life of me. I don't understand why that is not okay. I don't understand why it's not okay for somebody to be like, yeah, I got connections, I'm good. But instead it was like, put me in the group chat. It's weird. I can't relate. Like, be open to me. Ew, that's weird. Ew, I can't relate. I've never told a man to give me a chance. That's shocking. It's shocking. Yeah. And on national TV, it's shocking. It's shocking. But again, when you're used to a certain scenario, these things are, this is like second nature.
Everybody had to swallow.
So let's clear it up, because I don't feel like, we don't know what's going to happen with the reunion. It does come up on the reunion. We don't know what's going to play. Sure.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you the same question I asked you when we were at the reunion. Why did you not? And see, you and Marie do this thing where, and I feel like men in general. Y'all don't want to hurt women's feelings. So sometimes
I'm nice.
So sometimes y'all are not as direct and concise as you need to be because you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. And sometimes it needs to be like, yo, da 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 da. But listen, I'm gonna answer however you want. Let's put it out there, because they're gonna put this to the Facebook groups and things like that.
It's being recorded.
They have nothing else to do. Not leave us out. No, Marie, you too. You do the same thing. The way y'all threw around this word gorgeous was shocking to me. The word was just being tossed around. Gorgeous. What? Anyway, so it's like, wow. Okay. Just being nice. He's just being nice. And see, the problem is when you're just nice, people don't get it. People think like, oh, he called me gorgeous. He doesn't. He doesn't like you.
What's the question?
He doesn't like you. He doesn't. Why did you not talk to Lee in the house?
Because I had a stronger connection with you, and we gravitated towards one another. So it was.
Were you allowed to talk to Lee and or
anybody
else who really wanted to vie for your attention since they didn't have a connection and were going to be going home soon?
I could have talked to anybody I wanted to.
Why didn't you talk to them?
Because I was talking to the person I wanted to.
Got it. I don't know what else we should ask. Do you feel like I ever kept you from your connection with Lee?
No. You actually were more forward about me talking to Lee, especially when Herbert was there, because you just was like, no, like, go talk to her. He can do whatever he wants. Like, I was always more honest about my connection with you and Lee the entire time. I never shied away from the conversations with you about how I felt about Lee or with the other guys or anything. I never played that.
Yeah.
I was always honest. And so when it came down to the house, people got to realize, like, everything that I said on the show was, hey, I want to give 100%. I don't like to give 50. I don't like to give 75. If I'm gonna give 100 or I'm gonna give 0. And so when we got in the house, I gave 100, and unfortunately I gave 0. So it wasn't, to me that would have been more fake to be all up under you and then hours later be all up under Lee and then be all up under you, because that's